This is Frank Garin, and I'm here with my partner, Dan Jonesy Jones. And I'm also here with arguably one of my oldest friends in this business, Marlon Sanders, the man, the legend himself. And Marlon, one of the first things I bought on the internet when I was learning this business was your product, The Amazing Formula. I've been an affiliate I've been full-time for 28 years now online, since August the 4th, 1996. So it's interesting because we have two OGs here, on the internet. And then Dan is a younger up and comer who I love working with. I don't partner well with people. I'm really good at being a lone wolf, but Jonesy and I have been working together since last winter, and it fits like this. Right, Jonesy?
I couldn't have said it any better myself, sir.
Yeah, we get along, which is good. And we understand division of labor, and we complement each other. And where we met was a big shout out to Ken MacArthur. We go to his mastermind every fourth Tuesday. And you always wind up meeting good people there. And over a few months, I met Jonesy. And he said he was doing affiliate marketing. I said, oh, I know that. So you're honestly our first interview, and this is just like a fireside chat, three people getting together and talking marketing. And one thing I'd love to, man, you are the most prolific person I know, Marlon. You're there every day, all day, man. And I don't know how you do it. How do you do it? How do you stay out in front?
I take a lot of naps, Frank. I'm just,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I take a lot of, at my age, I don't, Frank, when we were young, I don't know about you at age 30, but when I was age 30, how old are you, Dan?
I just turned 40.
Turned 40. My God, you look young for 40. Holy crap. I thought you were about 25 or 30.
He's got a baby.
Wow.
Let me screw up the illusion here. Is that better?
Well, yeah, okay. The hair's cut, but you don't got any wrinkles or anything. My God.
Yeah, I was just at his birthday party. It's legit.
I can't believe that. That's stunning. So anyway, you're a ball of fire when you're more energy,
yes.
And you know what to do with at age 30.
Yeah.
And now I have more sleep than I know what to do with. But I think the thing about products is like anything, Frank, you do it a lot and you just get fast at it and you get good at it. I'll ask you, I'm going to answer a question. I'm going to ask you a question. The question is, what's the biggest thing that's changed since we started this business in 1996, 1997, right? Dan, you won't remember these things probably, but
settle down. Hang on. I was hand coding HTML sites for crap.
Were you really?
Yeah, when I was 12 years old.
Dang.
And that's part of my little story spiel, which I don't have to get into now.
I had an employee like that.
I didn't monetize it.
He was hand coding HTML at age 12. He was a heck of an employee because he understood the whole gamut, right? And so, well, then you remember back then is different than it is now. And I would say the difference was, your expenses were a heck of a lot higher. But it was a lot easier to get an audience because internet marketing was new and it was exciting and people loved it. But there were less channels. So it's a fascinating thing to me, Frank, because and we're going to talk about, by the way, we're going to talk about how I sold 70,000 products. We're going to talk about some useful stuff today. And I want people to walk away with an action plan. I want people to walk away with some things they can apply, right? I hate things where it's like you listen to it and it was like cotton candy, right? We're not going to do that. But I think a little context is interesting. Today, you got so many channels. Like I was just listening to some great stuff by a guy named Matt Gray. So like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he starts his LinkedIn and then his X marketing. And now he's got 250,000 followers.
Jeez.
In either 2 or 3 years. And he's got multiple businesses he owns. So he's got $10 million in total businesses. I mean, it's like phenomenal what people can do today because of the channels.
Oh, absolutely.
But the competition has also never been more. Right.
Very
and so I think
so.
that's the thing is to me, of what's changed, and I want to know what you guys think have changed, but for me, that's what I think has changed is you really have to attract attention today much differently than you did back in 1996 or 97. What do you think, Frank, and what do you think, Dan?
I agree with you. I agree with you fully, because back then you could make 10 grand a month falling out of bed on the first of the month. You knew you were going to make 10 grand. And everything was new. The tools were new. AWeber. I mean, I'm one of AWeber's earliest affiliates.
Thank God, because have you checked their recent pricing plan? Maybe not. Like, I just checked it yesterday because I'm doing a product and I'm like, I need to recommend people a list, right, Frank? And so we got on AWeber. Fortunately, we're grandfathered. Dan's probably grandfathered, right? So I can mail my list 2 or 3 times a day if I so desire. I don't mail it that often, but if I wanted to, I could, right?
Yeah, yeah.
On the plans today, you can mail, like, the best plan, I think, is you can mail 12 times the size of your list. So basically, you can mail your list 12 times during the month.
I did not know that, because I'm happy being a grandfather. See, with age comes some perks, Marlon.
So anyway, well, Dan, what do you see as the biggest difference since back then when you were hand coding HTML at age 12?
So, I mean, obviously I'm going to agree with the amount of channels that there are out there and somewhat of the saturation. But that, unlike technology, marketing is rather cyclical and grounded in foundations in psychology, meaning only the delivery has changed. Instead of billboard, and I shouldn't say instead of postcards and billboards, alongside of postcards and billboards, we've got reels, we've got pay-per-click ads, we've got multi-channel advertising. But when it comes down to it, copywriting, hooks, and value props still need to attract attention, because anybody can use AI to, create a website, create ads, all this. And it may work for a short time, but if you're taking shortcuts, it's not going to work. If you're not solving problems, if you're not connecting people with people or people with solutions, it's not going to work. So as far along as technology has come in making things easier and getting rid of a lot of the rote, mundane, routine work, some of the hardest stuff remains delivering a message, delivering a core message and the meaning behind it.
So, it's funny because I think hooks today are more important than ever, but it's interesting because they've always been important. This is a letter I have. Let me see if the date is on the letter. It's a direct mail letter. I'll show it to you here. The date, dang it. The date's not on. I'm not even sure the guy that wrote the letter, Martin Edelston, is still alive. I don't know. All right, but this was the letter, very famous old time letter.
Oh, boy.
What never to eat on an airplane, right?
The deadliest airline in the whole world.
And see, that's a blog. All right. 12 years ago, that's a routine clickbait blog, including the structure, the above the fold, the headline, the subheadline, and the content.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you're using direct mail as the example, which I love, because I recently saw a couple presentations about some people who are using technology to make their direct mail stand more out, using that lumpy mail.
They are. And I believe that you think you sell a membership, Dan.
Yes.
Back then they did the membership like this, the pitch.
CompuServe, free for members of CompuServe. Oh my God, you're taking me back. I started on 14.4, and when we got
you started on what?
14.4 dial-up.
Oh yeah,
14.4 dial-up. Floppy.
Half duplex. We have to wait for one to finish a sentence before the other one can reply.
No. Right.
I remember we got 56.6. I thought it was like a 1T trunk line. It felt like, That
was a big deal because 28.8 was not fast.
No, 56.6 was
a big deal.
Oh geez, yeah. And I remember when I moved up to the Poconos and we got direct TV, but I guess the internet version of that. I was on satellite. Man, I was cooking with gas. So I think one thing, the way I would put it, Marlon, compared to 20, 30 years ago, it's gotten a lot, it's a paradox. It's gotten a lot easier to make money online, and it's gotten a lot harder to make money online. It's gotten a lot easier because the tools are there for anybody to do anything they want and make a go of it. But equally, the tools are there. There's so many tools. What do you do first, second, third? Like I'm helping somebody now. She doesn't know, does she Instagram? Does she Facebook? Does she get her own website? Does she make her own products? Does she do this and that? It's hard, man. You don't know what to do. And Amazon, don't even get me started on Amazon. I spent a few good years at Amazon and a few bad years at Amazon. You can sink a fortune into Amazon, boy.
Yeah, I have a friend that bought into an Amazon pitch. And I'm a good friend. You would know him. And I'm talking to him. He's like so excited. Oh, this guy's making all this money, and I'm just going to drop ship these products, and it's going to be so great, right? And I talked to him 6 months later. I'm like, dog, how's that Amazon thing coming? Oh, God.
I had a good couple of years with it, but the thing was, we were selling all natural dog shampoo, right, Marlon? So I'm paying $5, $6 a bottle, selling it for $11, $12 a bottle. Oh, no, 16, 15, 16 a bottle. We sold 10 grand in dog shampoo in 6 weeks. But the next thing you know, your competitors are cutting it by $1. Then you got to cut it by $1.25. Then they cut it by $1.35. It's a race to the bottom. And that's just the Americans. Next thing you know, the Chinese, God bless the Chinese, there's billions and billions of them. They start selling this stuff. It's over. There's people making money on Amazon. God bless them. I don't know how they do it, because we went, and I was a trainer for a very big, I won't mention them because I wouldn't recommend them anymore, but I was the corporate trainer for one of the most successful Amazon, how to sell on Amazon courses. And it was right when things started changing. I always felt bad because what the course taught and what the real world taught, the real world's constantly changing.
Yeah.
There's timeless and tested things like you buy a Gary Halmer copywriting course, that's going to be good 50 years from now. But something like Amazon, it's so dynamic, and they change their stupid rules and this and that. I honestly think the best way to make money online is to pick a niche that you can speak about, or something that people at home ask you about, like in your private life, not your internet life, and just figure out how to make money with that, whether it's affiliates, blogging about it, YouTubing. And I know you're a big IG fan, Marlon.
I'm a fan of a lot of the platforms. It depends. What I like about Instagram, I tell you what, let's come to modern day channels, but let's just talk about how I sold all the products, and then we'll get to modern day channels. So it was real simple. I had a friend that back in the day, the number one internet guy was named Corey Rudel, and he was like the god of e-commerce at the time, and he passed away, unfortunately, in a car accident. But a friend of mine didn't hack in, but he found out a back door to be able to check Corey's affiliate stats. He's like, Marlon, his affiliates are making like $30,000 commissions a month. This is unbelievable. He's like, you need to start an affiliate program. So I started an affiliate program with the same guy he had his with, which was very, very basic affiliate software. And it blew up. And I had 30 over, next 10 years or so, I had 30,000 affiliates, and we sold tons and tons and tons of products. But then in about 2005 to 7, the real estate market crashed. And you had both JV Zoo and Warrior Plus then launched their affiliate programs so you could sell products on their platforms.
Right.
So that changed everything for the affiliate game. And so today, back then you got affiliates passively. They would just come to you in droves if you had a good product and it sold and it converted. Today, no, because you've got 10 or 20 launches a day.
Yeah.
you know, and extremely well done sales letters and stuff. You know, I'm not going to say the products are extremely well done, but the sales letters are, right? And like the products, the sales letter is incredible. The products by some person you can't even understand what they're saying, you know, because they were $1 an hour over in, you know, God knows what.
Botswana.
But yeah, I mean, this is literally true sometimes. And so the products, you know, but the sales letters are killer. And so today you've got several choices. If you're going to do affiliate marketing, you have to proactively recruit affiliates. It's a very different game than making great products that convert and just having affiliates come to you. Affiliates don't come. It used to be build it and they will come. Now it's like go to them again, go to them again, and then maybe they'll come. Yeah. I mean, it's proactive, it's marketing, right? And so a lot of people have gone to content marketing, and that's where Instagram comes in.
Right.
But content marketing, just in the last 5 years ago, put content out there and you get tons of views. I mean, you could do a live stream on Facebook and have a ton of viewers and so forth. But Facebook owning both Instagram and Facebook has shut down, especially on Facebook, they've shut down the organic to almost nothing. Like it's really just almost nothing.
Yeah.
It's like out of your 5,000 friends, they'll show your content to approximately, I think, 4 or 5% of them, you know, if that. And so, so Reels, though TikTok came along and they had an unleashed algorithm, it wasn't limited to your friends. The problem with Facebook is your reach is limited to your friends, and most of those were friends with you 100 years ago. They don't remember you, and so it's not good. But Reels came along with TikTok, and if you had no followers, you can still blow up to 1 million views if a ton of people watched your reel. So it changed everything. So Facebook launched Reels, Instagram launched Reels. And so on Instagram, it's interesting. I just happen to I can't even hardly find where I upload my Reels on Facebook. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's not a featured thing. Over on Instagram, right there, you click your little thing and you can upload your reel. Right. And they give it, just like TikTok, no limit on the distribution. And they are friendly to, unlike Facebook, blatant calls to action and business pitches and stuff. On Facebook, they tell it's a business pitch. The 5% distribution's going down to 0.5%. If they tell you have a call to action or something, right? So Instagram is far more favorable. That's what I like about it. Probably the best platforms, depending on your skill set, if you're a writer, LinkedIn and X are tremendous because they're not dependent on video. Instagram is so dependent on imaging and video, and the learning curve is higher for the beginner because they have to learn how to do video, how to do images in Canva or wherever. And the bar is higher. Like now, the images are done, a lot of them are done by pros. And so even there, that bar just keeps getting higher. The nice thing about LinkedIn and X, it's built largely on writing. So if you're a good writer, you can still stand out over there. So that's kind of how the content platforms break down. But if you're good at video, there's a lot of opportunity doing simple 1-minute reels, 3 of them a day, and people are blowing up, if they know how to do them.
What do you think on X? How many times a day would you say? Would you post on X if you're
there's a guy named Justin Welsh who has a really great method for LinkedIn/X. And I can't remember off the top of my head. I think he does like a couple posts a day. I think it's 2 or 3 posts a day, but they're usually short. Like his system is really brilliant. And he's grown to like 250,000 subscribers in a relatively short period. Also, he's like Matt Gray. Matt Gray kind of runs the same system. Is they do these posts, text posts, sometimes threads with 10 tips, like a listicle, list of things. Mm-hmm. And then the Hype Fury, if people are liking that thread, Hype Fury then, after X period of likes, auto publishes below it, or as a comment, I guess, or an add-on to the post, their newsletter, free newsletter sign up pitch.
Right.
And so they go over, they sign up for the free newsletter, and then the free newsletter is produced weekly. And at the beginning or end of it has a pitch for whatever their product is. But that's been in a really, really lucrative model, is pushing the free news. So short form content or threads, but still they're not that difficult to produce. And then that becomes the platform for pitching the free newsletter, which is on a standalone page, the sign up. It's a pretty good method. And anyone can do it. Like, writing is a lot easier than doing video or fancy graphics on Instagram, you know.
I think that, well, that's very dependent on the individual. Because I know a lot of people who are great on video and riffing, but they could not write a piece of copy that couldn't pass a 5th grade level exam.
Writing exam. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, yes, that's true. And also age depends, because I have a problem when I put my video on Instagram, the comments are like, well, it's nice that Darth Vader, his grandfather, has graced us today.
How dare they, sir? How
What
dare
a badge
they?
of honor, though. What a badge.
Not even the dude that was Darth Vader's
the
father.
His
grandfather.
The emperor, right? Yeah, his grandfather.
His grandfather.
I can't believe it. I'm going to be 60 in December, Marlon, and I started this in my early 30s, and I'm like, what happened? And I feel like I've lived. It really is. The internet is like dog years, man. The market changes for every year you're in it, right, Jonesy? It's like it changes 7 years. I mean, AI alone. I'll tell you, Marlon, a year and a half ago, like when this stuff first started coming out, I was like, AI is crap. I'm not. People are asking me. I'm like, I'm not even worried about it right now. Now I love it, and for a couple different reasons. One is it gives me, you know, I've written so many newsletters. It's like, what do I have to say? I mean, I was publishing the Internet Cash Planogram 5 and 7 times a week for years. And eventually you feel like you've said it all. But now with AI, I can go, give me some ideas on articles for X, Y, and Z. And then I just go to Dragon Naturally Speaking and I talk it and it records, and then I edit. I can turn out content a third to a fifth of the time that it took me typing and thinking and all, and it's more authentically me. So I think that's one thing I tell people now. I'm like, kids, AI is coming, baby. You got to know something about it. Not necessarily for writing the perfect sales letter, because the search engines and so forth pick up on the AI. I mean, there's things that they pick up on, and Jonesy, you know more about that than me even, but just to use it as an idea generator. I mean, people say you don't know what to sell online, go to ChatGPT and punch some stuff in there and just hit deeper.
Well, the nice thing is, probably about a year from now, it won't be me, it'll just be my AI avatar, and I can, you know, reduce the years down to about age 35.
That's with
and then all the reaction videos will be what happened to Darth.
I know.
Darth's
Well,
grandfather.
you can already do your avatar, and it's pretty darn good in your voice, and it looks like you. It's just still not real fluent, but like, give it another year. Elon Musk is putting in 100,000 of the I forget what GPUs I think they're called, and they cost $30,000 to $40,000 each. And in Memphis, they're building, his AI thing will be built on 100,000 of them. Jeez. So the spend is like I don't know how many billions of dollars that is, but it's you know, this math you can. So when you have that much computing power, you know, you'll have full AI that'll look just like Frank and talk just like Frank.
Well, that's good, because I can be poolside then, and my avatar can do all this stuff and just send me the check. But I think,
know, right?
You know, I think AI.
It's like, no, your customers get an email, and it's like, you know, message from the other side from Frank, and it's like, hey Frank, I know it's Frank. I know, you know, my physical self has been gone 10 years. But I'm still here, And we're still publishing offers.
My
And I
legacy for
just
my
got to
kids.
tell you about the new one.
That's great.
That's some
So-
Black Mirror stuff right there. That's a whole Black Mirror episode of AI Frank
Oh, dude, I love Black Mirror.
selling his new product from beyond the pale.
From the other side, right?
I can't wait for the next season of Black Mirror. I don't know about you guys, but it scares the hell out of you and it entertains you both at the same time. Lee Benson, you remember Lee Benson, Marlon?
Of course.
Good friend when he immigrated from the UK to Toronto, and he turned me on to Black Mirror. Every season we're like, oh my God, did you see what's going to happen in 20 years? It's crazy stuff, man. I think AI, like you say, these are the begin. I mean, the stuff we're dealing with now is like alpha grade. It's not even beta. I mean, the quality and stuff like that. Give it another year or two, they're bound to figure out really the meaning of life and everything in between.
Well,
with all this
Elon
computer
supposedly
power.
will have this thing running by like November of this year.
Well, I'm going to hold him to that.
I mean, when you got 100,000 of those things, that's some serious computing power.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's some really serious computing power, right? So they would have built it he probably would have built it in Texas, except I don't think we got enough electricity here to run it. We're lucky that I just got electricity right now. It's our power
of
grid
the Zoom
here,
call.
you know.
Really? In San Antonio? Because I've been
Well,
here.
no,
and haven't.
no, Texas, because we have our own power grid. We're the only
Yes.
state that runs
Yeah.
our own power grid, right?
Yeah.
Well, the problem is they forced them to shut down the coal plants and some of the natural gas stuff that we were relying on for our energy. So we're hurting right now. The power grid is a little bit dicey, you know. Anyway,
Somebody sneezes and the lights go out. Is that what you're telling me?
no, but we haven't had any outages now in 2 summers, but like 2 summers ago, we had a real problem for about a week, you know.
I remember.
In any event, so today let's talk about opportunity. People are listening to this, they want something that's actionable. So I think if you want to market through affiliates, there's still a lot of opportunity there, but you have to go out and you have to recruit the affiliates. You have to personally contact them. You have to have a really great offer. You
Right.
may have to promote what they're doing or have some form of reciprocity, right? It's
Yeah.
still built on relationships, sort of like, so we'll come back to relationships, but I think that's for that. If you just like to write, go on LinkedIn or X, pick one. Don't do both to start, pick one. Then when you get good at it, flip over to the other one and do both of them, right? If you are camera friendly and don't look like Darth Vader's grandfather, then go to, I think Instagram is one heck of a platform because because they allow, like here, I'll show you something here. Let me see if I can just bring this up here. See if I can get the other monitor over here. I normally have it set up on a button, but I forgot to set it up. All right, we're going to try this, guys, see how this works. So we'll go over here. That should work. We'll go here to Instagram. And just when I say this, what I'm going to show you would never happen on Facebook, right? So this is my Instagram here. Do you all see that okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so this is my Instagram. Okay, now you would see this, a quick list of niches that can make you a millionaire. All right. But then this video would not get distribution. I made $7 million in 4 years. Facebook would crush that in an instant.
Oh, in a second.
Right?
Yeah,
And when you come down here, there's a CTA in the text of everyone. Comment 21 below if you want me to send you the full list of 21 things your checkout page must have. Now, this is sent back my mini chat. You can't use mini chat on the Facebook profile. On Instagram, boom, I comment 21, and let's see how fast I receive it. I'll probably receive it like, we'll see, I've got 2 messages right now. We'll see how long it takes me to receive it. 3, it just hit. Mini chat already sent it, right? So here it is. Maria just sent it, right? And here it is right here. Hi, just confirming you want me to send you the list of 21 things your checkout page has to have. Yes, please send, Maria, right? And so that will pop back to me here in a second. All right. So that's one of the things that's just incredible about the lead generation is just that. Now, if we just go here and look, so here's somebody else. They got a pitch of some kind, right? 31 hooks to go viral this month. And this is, I think this one. Oh yeah, this is a carousel. You don't have carousels on Facebook, right?
Nope.
But this is really cool. These are hooks. And I actually want these hooks. These are really, the hooks today are so important. So just comment hook. All right. And now I'll be right in their mini chat, right? Now here's somebody that got Course GPT, a blatant pitch no, this is a sponsorship.
That's sponsored,
ad.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
an ad. All right. But now here's Justin Welsh. I mentioned him. Here's one of his posts. To almost 2,000 likes right here on Instagram, right? And all this is a screen cap of his tweet. 2,000 likes on it, right? Here's the guy who's telling you about Matt Gray. 245 likes on this. But this is he does a lot of this kind of thing where it's handwritten, and he posts these on Twitter. He posts them over here on Instagram. And, you know, a lot of content in them, CTA at the bottom, and these things go crazy. Here's another one from Maria. Now, let me see up here because I don't see her. Normally, I see her right off the bat. She may not have a post right now. Let's see.
And just question, out of these, just I'm guessing of this sample, which of those are you actively following and which are you're not following, but it's algorithm recommended?
Oh, no, I'm following all of those. They're all up because
Okay.
you see them all up here in my stories. Like this lady here is so good at stories to sell. So she'll post like 6 stories in a row that are all telling that's like a sequence that leads to the call to action. And she's just amazing at it. And is just a beast at doing the posts and the reels. Like this is what I mean about the quality. Like this stuff is really high quality here. And if we look at her reels, you know, the reels are really, they're very, very well done. She's a real pro and at it. A lot of these people are like high level pros at Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, let me search. Oh, here she is right here. Jessica Vieira. She's a beast. She's running a high ticket sales game. So like after you request the freebie, the appointment setter will contact you and set an appointment. And then they have phone closing. So she's doing millions off of Instagram on the here. And so this is, but what's different about Instagram is just this. All of these people are blatantly pitching and getting organic distribution, right? You ain't going to get organic distribution for this stuff on Facebook. It's not happening.
No.
It ain't happening, right? I mean, I don't even think TikTok allows it to be this blatant, right? I don't think, because TikTok, like, I think they got a lot of rules now surrounding CTAs, your call to actions.
Right.
So this is the guy, Matt Gray, I told you about, and that's doing like, let's see how big his Instagram is. So he's got 837,000 followers now on Instagram, and he only started his Instagram 2 or 3 years ago.
Wow.
Right? I mean, the dude is like, but the content quality is real high. Like these are like pro produced or this one's a carousel here. So, but you know, he has a full-time video person, a full-time social media person, blah, 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 blah. But remember, they're making millions of dollars. You don't have to be that high level to do really well on Instagram. It's just that they allow you to sell and Facebook doesn't. That's what I think is unusual about it. And the reels, now your feed is capped to your friends, but your reels are not. Your reels are just like TikTok, and you could get 1 million views on your reel if people were watching it, right? So I'll go back to my mug, although people are like, no, actually, Marlon, can't you just leave on the girls?
Yeah. Keep your feet girls
Really,
on there.
we prefer the girls. I'm sorry, but
There's a couple there that caught my eye, that's for sure. all
Well,
that and money.
they
and
do use whatever to their advantage. That's for sure,
I
right?
have no problem with that.
I don't either. More power to them. So that's where I think we are today, Frank and Dan, is Instagram is a great tool, but you see, it's getting to be a more of a pro game. In 1997, 2000, Frank and Dan, you could be lazy and, like Frank said, make 10,000 a month and not do a lot.
Oh,
Today,
yeah.
the bar's a lot higher, right? But in fact, I'll tell you what, we're going to go back and look at one other thing just because I think it's real instructive.
Right.
Because this is what's cool though about X. So we just saw, you got to be pretty good over there on TikTok. On Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be pretty good. But let's go over here to X and let's search Justin Welsh. All right. So this guy blew up originally on LinkedIn, and now he's over here on X. But you can see, let's see here. Yeah, he made $7.5 million from his person business in the last few years. Let's see if we can see where's his posts. I got to get back to his. I just want to show you. Crap. I want to show you that he's just doing text. He doesn't do video and he doesn't do photos. This view all. I think that's what I needed. All right, there we go. Finally, that took long enough. All right. So see, this is all text. Now, here's what I was saying. He'll do a post like a post, and then he'll automatically post after X period of time or likes or something, his pitch for his newsletters. I help solopreneurs own their work and life. And if you click that, join for free. It's his pitch for his newsletter. He's got 220,000 solopreneurs. One actionable tip to grow your business every Saturday. And that's the interesting thing about it is the newsletter, Frank, isn't like your old one that you published.
No,
it was a lot of work, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
hour or two, easy to put one together.
Yeah, this is one actionable tip. I was going to see, he's got archives in here somewhere. I'll just subscribe again so we can see it. Subscribe. Oh, well, maybe later. All right. I'm on X. Back to home page. All right. All right, great. I don't have any freaking archives. Well, somewhere he's got, is it here? Somewhere he's got archives of his newsletters. Here they are. All right. So should you have an email newsletter? Myth versus reality. This is what one of his newsletters looks like. He calls it a 4-minute read.
Right.
So this is the pitch here. And then this is the newsletter here. And that's it. That's the newsletter. So it's, it's probably a lot less intense than the newsletters you used to write, Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, the one thing is with AI, I can write from the heart again a lot easier than I could just using. I have actually have FrankBot. Well, second version of FrankBot here. Jonesy was so kind. He made a custom chat GPT for me. He took some of my old newsletters and fed them into the machine. And now the thing talks like me. And I still have about another 15 to 30 to get you, Jonesy, by the way, from our last. I have a to-do list a mile long for conversionchemistry.com or our thing here. And
so your site is conversionchemistry.com. Let's go look at it. But go ahead and then I'll pop on over.
And Frank, I even upgraded since then, and I now have the GPT actually crawl your RSS feed from your newsletter archives, so it has access to the whole shebang.
I feel so vulnerable and exposed all of a sudden.
And instructions to refer to that before it creates a new newsletter.
You did that for, you are so sweet, Jonesy. I tell you, the things
Hey,
you
look,
do.
man, I wanted to make sure that 27 years worth of work was getting fed
28,
into the
don't
right
tell me
hands.
short.
So you got guided do-it-yourself courses, monthly office hours, high converting frameworks. That's nice. I'm sure that's a popular thing there. Access to coaches, comped entry to events, community of entrepreneurs, affiliate collab opportunities. That's a real popular one there. More added monthly. Here's your product. All right. Success stories. Boom. And let's check out page source here, see what's going on behind the scenes here.
Oh, now you guys are talking shop here.
Yeah, a little
at
bit,
this.
dog. A little. I'm just curious what you all got going on here. I see WP content over here, so it's a WordPress site, but I can't see what you built it in.
It's actually a custom child theme that I made on top of Generate Press.
Nice. Wow, that
He
looks
made
great.
he made it when he was 14, by the way.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll come back on screen, but that's it. Conversion chemistry.
Well, show us your stuff too, man. You're the guest.
Yeah, here's
you know what? marlonsanders.com and people find me, right? It's not particularly hard to find me.
No, but that's like one of your digital footprints. You've left footprints in many places.
I got too many sites. Yeah, it's true.
I go to look at your course list and I'm like, I've been doing this for so long. Where do I even start?
I don't even have the latest 7 courses on there. Like I do so many courses, I don't have time to put them on there.
That's some good stuff.
You know,
let me ask you this,
Huh.
totally off the record, Amazing Formula. Does that still sell for you, or is that, because that's something
I don't,
really,
you know, I'm trying to update it, Frank, and I wouldn't say it. I probably sell some here or there, but I don't sell a lot because it's not real updated. The whole, I really got to, it's just probably updating. It's a bigger project than I have been willing to attack, but because it got too long, and so I have to go in and rethink it and recreate. I've been doing that kind of like a chapter at a time in my newsletter. I write a newsletter on Saturdays, and so I've been trying to slowly but surely revamp it and do it for, you know, this century.
there's still a lot of relevancy in it, though, even though if it
Yeah,
is
but when I was talking
outdated.
about the traffic sources and stuff, that part was all outdated. You
That's
know,
outdated. Yeah,
because all of that just changed so massively, and it's still changing. I find it, you know, the great thing about this business is it's never boring.
no, it's always changing too. I mean,
Because something's always said. You're right about AI, and it's kind of like, you know, you got to attempt to jump on it, Frank, or you're gonna be like my dad was about the internet. Well, I just don't get that internet thing. I just don't get it, right? And I showed him Facebook, and he's like, I don't want my picture on there.
That's my mom too. She's on Instagram all day long talking with her friends. I try to get her on like Facebook and all. She's like, no, that's all gossip, and I don't, all that stuff.
I don't want to be the one going, I don't want my avatar talking on Facebook.
Yeah, she's not having it, man. My mom, she's not having that Facebook stuff. I thought she would be a natural, but no, she likes her IG, man.
Well, you know, that's interesting because both of them go into the AI training database.
Yeah, she's fighting it, and they're taking statistics on her every day. She's on there more
Dude,
than
they
I'm
showed
online.
the other day what they're using at football games this year. So but they didn't explain the whole thing. The camera can zoom in and they showed it. The stadium cameras can zoom in on people's faces and it's 100% clear, right? And you're thinking, oh, that's not a big deal, except that they didn't mention the part about when you plug those cameras into AI, you can scan everyone in that stadium and have hits on most of them within the space of probably like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Like the speed at which AI processes stuff is just the speed of light.
Yeah, it's done
right?
before you started it.
And it's funny because the police are upset about it. I'm not sure why, because they can identify 200 criminals that they've been looking for 5 years or 10 years in the space of 5 minutes. It's like at the end of the game, the police swoop in and just arrest all the criminals.
Well, see, and there's the problem is that it's so decentralized that, all right, say we'll use, Philadelphia sports as the example. I'm at the Lincoln Financial Field watching the Philadelphia Eagles. And, I got some unpaid traffic tickets from Bucks County, PA. Well, Bucks County police aren't going to go follow me all the way down to Philadelphia just for some citations. So then what do you do with that all? Well, they're going to sell the data to other companies. So law enforcement doesn't get the benefit.
Well, yeah, but wait till you go to the airport and you walk through the scanner and you're going to the gate and the girl walks up with a little bag and it's like, sir, I got a discount on the hemorrhoid cream for you today.
You're going to be sitting for a few hours.
And then the
It's
other
better to
one's
be pitched a relevant product than to go on the no-fly list.
and you're sitting at the gate. The next one's up. Hey, we got some bunion cream here for you.
So, but that's the flip side is, we're being bombarded with ads, but isn't it better to be bombarded with ads that actually are relevant to our interests?
Then all the 40-year-old single males are surrounded by women and they think that they're attractive.
Well, I mean,
Well,
that play has always worked for the
Since
for
forever.
that type of sales. That's
What's
just
the
like
thing?
go when they walk up to you at the mall, spraying stuff on you. Oh, your wife or
I know,
girlfriend or
right?
mom would love this.
So anyway, that's where I guess that's where we're headed. I don't know. But the point of that is you do have to adapt it. Hey, I want to show you something. If any of you want to market on LinkedIn, it's a really fantastic book here. The Ultimate LinkedIn Messaging Guide. Really great little LinkedIn book. LinkedIn is funny because there's so much stuff on it, and yet I think a lot of it is really not very good. We were talking about that, Dan, like one of the purposes of conversion chemistry is you feel like authenticity, and maybe people are out there promoting stuff that sounds good that isn't. So it's actually hard to find a good product about LinkedIn. I think Justin Welsh has one. Matt Gray has some stuff, free stuff on his channel, his YouTube channel about LinkedIn that's fantastic. Really, really good stuff. But overall, it's hard to find good stuff about LinkedIn. And I think the same thing goes for X. Like, I haven't even seen anything good about marketing on X other than Justin Welsh and Matt Gray. I'm sure there's some people out there, but I haven't seen it.
What's interesting is like a lot of what we teach our students and clients is it's almost half and half of what not to do versus what you should be doing. A lot of the examples, we'll use LinkedIn as the example I see out in the wild is all these cold DMs I get every single day,
Oh,
which
geez,
has
yeah.
a pitch on the first message. And like there's that, that's a giant sore thumb of what not to do. Don't do that. Like, at least give it a shot. Hey, Dan, I see you breathe air. I also breathe air. When would you like to have a 15-minute discussion? You can jump on my calendar. Get out of here.
Matt McWilliams has like the best things for approaching affiliate scripts on his blog. He's like the king of recruiting affiliates.
What's his
And
name
so
again?
what he does is he actually personalized what his best email is based on something they just promoted that's similar to your product. So you find people that just promoted something similar to your product.
Right.
Hey, I see that you promoted conversion tools recently, and we have our a product called Conversion Chemistry, and I was just wondering if you'd be interested in affiliate information on it.
And which guy was that, Marlon? I missed the name. I'm sorry.
MattMcWilliams.com.
Matt McWilliams.
And one of his opt-ins is how to recruit your first 100 affiliates. And the OTO for like $10, you can buy, his 20 best affiliate recruiting scripts.
Oh, that's cool.
The dude's a beast. His product, his freebies are just incredible. And so are like the little $10 things you can buy from him. They're incredible on recruiting affiliates. The best stuff out there, bar none, by far. And he's affiliate whatever you call it, manager. So he manages like really big names, Jeff Walker and a bunch of the really big
Gotcha.
launches. He spends like 6 months recruiting affiliates for him. It's like not a short-term thing. It's a 6-month launch, and he's recruiting affiliates that whole 6 months.
There's a name too, Jeff Walker. He's still relevant from the first product launch formula right through today.
Actually, his revised book is at the bookstore, and it's fantastic. The revision is fantastic.
Yeah, he's a good dude, Jeff. He's a guy that stayed true to his mission and just improved it and refined it over and over again. And I have the 2022, or do I have the 2020? Whatever the last one was that he came out with. I'm sure there'll be another one this year. And they're always worth getting because concept is the same, but he updates it with the latest tricks and techniques. There's
And
other
he added more meat to it. The first
Yeah.
one was maybe a little light on meat, and this one he added full launch sequences and stuff.
Yeah,
It's really
exactly.
good, really good, really
Yep.
really great book.
Who so let me ask you this: if somebody was, in your opinion, if somebody was going to start today, we've talked about all these different things, social media and so forth. What do you think somebody should do? Like I said before, if you have an idea that other people ask you about a lot, or you have a hobby or something like that, quite possibly that's the way to go, because information marketing itself is very lucrative, but more you earn your money here, you know what I mean? And so do I. Whereas and you've told me this over and over again, like I'm into trains, and you're like, hey, Frank, you should sell some of your train pictures and maybe start a railroad website and all. I mean, to me, that's where somebody should start. Information marketing is great.
Like if you were on Amazon, I would be selling stuff about trains, but that's another story. I mean, like you have to find a niche, right? I'd be selling one thing on Amazon. I wouldn't be making my money on Amazon. I'd be selling a few products that are like loss leaders on Amazon to get people. The best I can convert them over to a list, which is another problem with Amazon. They don't want you to build your
customer list.
But I would try to migrate them to a list, and then I could tell my story, do webinars, teach the startup train package for your kids' dreams, right? And sell a big package. I mean, you could do a heck of a lot with it, but
so
you have to use Amazon, and you have to use these platforms as a place to get them off the platform onto your email list. That's the whole game. So the story of that is, Frank, you got to use the platforms, get people off the platforms onto your email list. Or if you're a networker, the affiliate game is still great, but you got to be proactive. You can't just sit back there and hope affiliates show up. They ain't going to do it. You got to contact like 50 or 100 people a day. It's a hustle, right? It's a hustle. On content marketing, pick your platform of choice that fits your skills and your abilities, and do your darndest to create the best content you can. So Matt Gray's advice is really good. I bought his Content OS product, and it's $150. But the key takeaways from it are: have 4 pillars of your content, 4 pillars that you talk about that are your 4 things, right? You hang your hat on. Yeah. And then have 3 forms of content that you specialize in. Like for him, it's he does lists, he does these long form posts with a video, that and he does those written deals. Those are the 3 main types of posts that he does, right? So have your 3 forms of content, have your 4 pillars, but you see, he very aggressively deplatforms people. You can't post your pitch for your newsletter with your content, because then they'll kill distribution. So what he does is, after it's getting distribution, then he has Hype Fury set up so it'll automatically then add on the pitch for the newsletter. Now he can deplatform people and get them onto his email list. Once you get them onto your email list, everything's good. Everything's good, relatively speaking. You got to worry more about delivery than you used to and all this stuff, right?
Yes.
But still, the money's in the list, and you're emailing your list, you're making offers to the list and so forth. You just have to prune your list, unlike the old days. And so once you get them on the list, though, you're home free. Get them on webinars, send them videos, send them to your blog posts, all of the above, right? You just got to be able to get the attention on the platform. So his goal on his 4 pillars on a chosen platform is to be doing the best job of producing his 3 formats on those 4 pillars of anyone. So on those 4, he doesn't try to control the all Instagram, but on these 4 topics on Instagram, with
He's the
these
man.
3 formats, I
Right.
want to be the best.
Right. And that's something anybody can do, because you can learn.
Yes,
and
it's
you can
learnable.
research. Yeah, it's learnable. You can learn
And
to
you
do
know,
that.
time-wise, Frank, it's doable. You're like, well, I don't think I can be the best. No, actually, once you get your templates, once you get your process down, it's not that big of a deal. But the learning curve initially of finding your templates, finding people that are producing the best content and then trying to outdo them, that part, the learning curve of it, I think is substantial.
But it is doable for the average
It's doable.
person, because
I believe it's doable.
yeah, these people aren't any smarter or dumber than the next person. They just put the time into it.
Well,
Which
yeah, and
is-
Frank, the content is short. Like, okay, you have a listicle, you have a list of 10 items, whether you use AI or use your own brain, it don't matter. You have 1-minute videos. His videos are 1 minute. Now, they're slickly produced by his video person, or maybe AI, like AI. I just found this out today, and I didn't know this, Frank. So listen to this. You have AI write a 1-minute script, right? You go to 11 labs, and for free, they'll turn that into audio. Now you go to Adobe Express, you upload that 1-minute audio, and you choose audio to animation, and they'll create an animation with the audio. Now you upload it.
I like it. And that's, I'll tell you.
That's free. That's all free. You don't
Yeah.
have to pay for it.
No, you don't. And one other thing, let me ask you this. You don't do it because you're so full of content. I mean, you could talk for 100 years and still not exhaust the subject. But what do you think about people using PLR and kind of rewriting it and mixing it up a little bit in, like, say, Chat GPT and training it and so forth? Say somebody's stuck and they want to talk about bird watching, for example. They buy some bird watching PLR. Some of it's going to be crap. Some of it's going to be okay. Some of it's going to be good. They put that content in the Chat GPT, and in particular, sort of like what Jonesy did for me, which anybody can do. You can learn how to make Chat GPT sound more personalized. But what do you think about?
I'll be honest. I think that Chat GPT, off the top of its head, is going to produce better content than the vast majority of the PLR.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you feed it in there.
So I said, Elon Musk is getting 100,000 of these processes, but Chat GPT has 50 or 60,000 of them. Like the computing power of it, that's at least $1 billion of computing power. That's like having $1 billion computer in your room that's going to write your content for you. That's going to be better content, Frank, than the $1 an hour writer over in Bangladesh. God bless him. Right. But, let's be honest.
Right. So that's good. So your vote is,
are you gonna choose the $1 an hour person or the multi-billion dollar AI?
I'm going with the free, even if to his Chat GPT, it's even as a free version. I'm going with
the multi-billion dollar AI, right?
You think it's going to affect the PLR market at some point soon, then, is what you're saying?
Well, they're going to be producing the PLR with the AI. I'm sure most of them already are,
Gotcha.
And if they get really good at using prompts with the AI and producing it, they can probably produce some really good PLR compared to the old days,
Some of the stuff's abysmal.
It's really difficult, a challenge to find a good PLR for the most part. Most of it's not very good. There are some good PLR producers out there and people, but still I don't know, man. I think AI is probably gonna,
Take
for
it
the
over
most part, is
corner of
gonna
the
be
market.
whatever you can buy with PLR.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense. Jonesy, I don't want to keep Marlon forever, but what do you want to ask him? Do you have anything? Because you guys are coming at it from a technical
Mm-hmm.
perspective as well as a marketing perspective that I'm
Well,
coming
you know what
from
he
here.
said before we started is he can't believe he can't believe I'm just 70 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say 40, 43, not a day older.
There you go.
My God, you don't look.
You're 73. Jesus, you and I did the thing with Ken McCarthy.
No, I'm not. I'm not. That was a joke, Frank.
Oh, I was going
Not
to
there
say.
yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there
see,
close, but I'm not there yet.
Well, you look 73. That was my
Yeah,
point,
I know.
Marlon.
No.
I remember that event we did in London, me, you, and Ken McCarthy, was it? That's got to be how many years ago, man?
Good Lord. I don't even remember that far back, Frank. Good God.
Exactly. We
So-
still have some hair. God bless
Way
you.
more than I do.
Little bit.
Joe, yeah.
Good
Well, this is
God.
long for me, and I haven't shaved in 2 weeks just to see what a beard looks like anymore.
So,
'cause
guys, what are you doing to promote conversion chemistry? What's on your plate? Are you recruiting affiliates? Are you doing paid ads? Are you doing or content marketing? Are you just meeting friends and asking them to promote? What's your goal with it, dog?
Yeah, yes to all. So what we're doing is we have a podcast with a friend of ours who has a fairly large YouTube channel. And in a way, since we're still developing this thing, right? It's less than a year old, and it's evolved from what we first envisioned, which was just selling that one blueprint, into
Right.
it being more community focused and driven. Because that's something that will differentiate us from a bunch of other course sellers out there who do digital marketing. Yes, the digital dominance blueprint, that's Frank and I's framework. I use that framework for my marketing agency, and my clients thrive with it. So it's a proven framework. But that's not enough. That's not enough to let us stand out and differentiate ourselves. That's not a value prop in and of itself. So the entrepreneur empowerment and the community aspect and support, that became a very big.
Hey, I'll show you something really cool about chemistry. Sorry to interrupt you, Dan, but I need to show you this before we get off.
Are you gonna do a
I just
magic
found
trick?
this today, and it's in, like, I can't believe how good the free content today is. Like, some of it is just insane. So let me see if I got it saved in my list of saves, but I may be able to just find it like this. Let's see here if I see it. Mighty Networks. Leave page. What? Okay. Let's see if I see it here. So Mighty Net, I think that, yeah, this is it here. They have this course. This is from the course, but the course is free, but you have to freaking find it here, right? It's by Mighty Networks.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if we can get the link. Yeah, People Magic. Here it is. MightyNetworks.com/People Magic. Let me bring that up on screen. Sorry about that. MightyNetworks.com/People Magic. This is the best thing I've ever seen on creating and running a group, bar none. It's insanely good. Like this, it's just fantastic. I'm like, well, I wish you all would have been around for the last, like,
20, 30 years, right?
yeah, and it's 9 sessions, pro produced, but the methods in there are just fantastic for building a community, right? But you can see the production quality is like off the chart.
Oh, geez, yeah.
But but sometimes I have slick production, but the content sucks.
Yeah.
And then look at this. Imagine being handed the blueprint to a $1 million community with AI. They got
I'll take that. Sure. Thank you. Make it a double.
If you're doing community stuff, I would grab this because it's so freaking cutting edge. I was like, wow, this is like, I feel, I may just start a new group because I
Just
saw that and I was like, wow.
try it that way.
Potential.
Is that-
So are you
that's-
going to do paid ads, you think, Dan, or no?
We already are. Part of my formula is always reinvesting 10% of profits into advertising, whether it's paid ads or using influencers. So we're running some pretty basic ads to promote our webinars that we do periodically, once or twice a month. And then also our lead magnet for list generation, for list building.
All right. So here's the guy, mattmcwilliams.com. And we should get his, imagine we'll get his pop up here. Find your first 100 affiliates. He's got a lot of freebies that are really great, but this is the strategy used to recruit 604 affiliates and build a $1.1 million a month program in only 18 months. And it includes scripts in it. And then we'll look at the OTO here. For $17, you get all his affiliate recruiting swipe files, and they're fantastic. Cannot recommend them too highly, right? Then this, you get his contest prize database for $7. It's his go-to resource for finding affiliate prizes. It's just really
that's
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
And
useful stuff.
Before you go, we're having one of the top affiliate managers in the world revealing his secrets to you. This program is, how much is this? It's a whole.
No, I was going to say 97. I would have won.
Oh yeah, I bought this one, but that's not his. That's like that one's okay. He has a $200, I think it's a $400, $500 program that's his real affiliate recruiting course.
Oh, gotcha.
The 97 one's
thing.
okay, but it's good. But the one that's great is the $400 or $500 one. Anyway, I just wanted to show that because anybody that wants to recruit affiliates, it's a different game, Frank. It ain't what it used to be. And you got to really have some specialized tactics, skills, and scripts. And his stuff is like, I don't even know anybody close to him.
Gotcha.
On what they teach. So
yeah, I mean, like it's almost like analogous to recruiting top talent as an employer, right? Because as the affiliate, I only want to represent something I believe in and I think is a good product and quite frankly want to sell.
Right.
Yeah, and that's all I ever did was stuff that I would use myself. Like say anything from Jimmy Brown or Marlon or Terry Dean or Kirk Christensen, whoever. If I wasn't using it myself, I would be using it myself if I had a specific need for it then. And I think that doesn't change. You always have to have the one thing that I've seen in this industry that's changed the most, I think, is the ethics, Marlon, because it used to be like a gentleman's agreement, maybe, or maybe there's enough money there for everybody that everybody stayed honest. And then sometime around 2005 or 10, man, people got just like different. There was no loyalty, no reciprocity. I had a guy give a ton of advice to him. I won't name names, right? But we're at a Carl Galetti's gig in Vegas one time, and he was so nervous about speaking all. I put time into him on the phone, not expecting anything, right?
Right.
But then a couple years later, I go, "Hey, man, can you do a mailing for us?" And he goes, "Oh, I love you, Frank, but you know what? If I can't make $100 grand from it, I can't accommodate you." And I'm like, "You disloyal SOB, you know?" So it used to be a gentleman's kind. I don't know. You did things on the handshake.
Well, I think the affiliate game was a little different then too. Like I hardly promote anyone today, and the reason is because back then, I don't know that people. There's this term from farming, glean the field, where they would just take everything off the field. And the Bible said, don't glean the field, leave some for the homeless and so forth, right? But back then, I don't think people gleaned the field with email. Today, if you promote, pretty much the next thing you know, your best customers are on the phone with their hardcore closer in the blink of an eye, right? And so
that's fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. So
it's just the truth. And you're promoting your thing, and everybody's got their own thing. And in the old days, everybody didn't have these huge back ends. with a team of salespeople and sophisticated stuff. And today everybody has it. Not everybody, but like most people.
All
And
the
so
big, yeah, right.
I think it makes it like
you have to. What you're saying is you have to
it's a little
protect.
bit, I don't know. I think it is a little bit different, but I also agree the loyalty and reciprocity. Yeah, you do. I mean, the more typical examples, you send someone a lot of business, right? And then, you have a launch and then they don't even return your email or something, right?
That sticks in my craw, because the people that got me here, they have an open, like my list is their list. You know what I mean? People that helped me. Nick James helped me 20 years ago. Nick James over in England.
No.
He needs something. You need something, Marlon. My list is your list, man. Don't even worry about it. Just ask.
Well, yeah, it ain't that ethic anymore, but I mean, there are reasons. I think some reasons.
I understand.
But it's not the close knit thing that it used to be. Now there's I don't even know how many people are in the business of selling, how to make money online, agency business, blah, 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 blah. There's like thousands of them.
My last count, it was a jabillion or so. That's how many was there. So listen, we're not going to keep you forever, but tell us, what are you promoting? Where can people learn more about you? Because you are one of my peers, you're a friend, and I've also learned a ton of good stuff from you. I want to make sure people can access your stuff before we sign off.
Forbidden secrets, Frank.
Visit. How to get VIP. Oh, look at that. How to get VIP treatments at any hospital. I like that.
Well, my wife works in a hospital, and that's a pretty important thing.
Oh, yeah. You want to get the right healthcare with the right nurse.
Because, I'm telling you, you want the VIP, trust me, right?
Are you saying it's like a life and death situation, perhaps?
Yeah, and the hospitals today, the doctors today aren't like the old days, because the insurance is like, you got 3 minutes each with each patient.
It's that.
I mean, practically, literally, that's it. And they don't have a choice because the insurance controls the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Marloncenters.com is my report on what I call seed marketing. And my report on how I sell 70,000 products online is resellertoolkit.com for just 70K, 70K. Resellertoolkit.com for just 70K. That's it, Frank.
And
easy peasy breezy. That's like a 50, I don't know how many pages, 30-page report, 50-page report, something like that.
We'll get those up on the site too for you, Marlon, because people should know, man. So this is our first live interview, and it was you. How does that make you feel, huh?
That's awesome, man. I want to see conversion chemistry rock, but I need to see this USP, this mechanism coming out of it, this USP thing. Today, it's harder than ever to stand out, and it's not an easy thing to come up with, I don't think, right? But because you got a really solid platform, there, right? You got a really solid platform there. So, but I think you got to have that one thing that people are like, I need that one thing.
I think for us, it's
that
community.
Other people don't have.
It's community, and you can still get your questions answered by somebody that knows what they're talking about.
Well, I will say this, that so everybody, and this is a point that you might be able to make, is everybody says they have community. They all do. But community is not really a USP. Everybody says they have a community. The problem is you go to the community and the big dog's never in there. Your questions are being answered by the blind leading the blind.
Well,
the big dog possibly comes in once a month and does a little training or something.
It's funny you say that, because on my notes today, conversion chemistry, participate regularly in forums, right? Here's today's to-do list.
But it's got to be clear that you are in there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just the members, because all the ones, I bought, higher end programs. And, we're talking say a $4,000 program, and the big dog's never in there. They'll do one Zoom a month. And other than that, it's just the blind leading the blind in the forum. Oh yeah, that's the community, huh? What kind
It's
of
not much of a
community is that?
community is that.
Bunch of people that don't know what they're doing, trying to help other people that don't know what they're doing. Everybody's trying to sell everybody else.
I feel good about that, Jonesy. We have that. Like we have that.
To me,
community.
that's a unique selling point right there, right?
I like that because we had 2 hours of open office, and we had a 69% retention rate. We just did our first open office call, Marlon. We had a 69% retention rate at the end of a 2-hour call, and the only people that left had to go to work and stuff like that. So
I also think conversion pass, so TJ Rowleader, one of my favorite marketers, says you can predict the success or the sales of something. And I forget this like every other day, right? Every other product I create, I forget it. But he says you predict the success of a product by how fast people can make money,
right,
how big it is and how easy it is, right? And that's rather embarrassing. But so Grant Cardone is all about work, right? Work hard, work hard, work hard. But when he goes to sell a product, it's like, I've got this thing on your phone, and anytime you get an objection from a customer, you just punch it in on your phone and you got the answer right there. So he's selling easy.
but he's telling you 10x.
His training
10x,
courses
10x.
are videos that are 3 minutes each to watch. And this is the king of working hard, right? So what I started to say is people want the thing done for them. And when you're selling conversion, you can't really do that. But what you can do is you have conversion paths, for example, that are, they're frameworks, but it's more like, this is a customer. This is your typical customer. Marlon, I want you, now not your typical customer. I want you to tell me step by step what to do and let me look over your shoulder and hold my hand. That's what I want, right? That's the customer. And God bless them. I love them, right? But that's actually more than one of my customers has said that. And I understand it because you don't want to be experimenting.
No.
You want this. We have 3 conversion paths. Number 1, number 2, number 3. We'll help you choose your conversion path. And here's the conversion path. It's got step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do this. Because what I'm guilty of, because I know there is no 1 conversion path, there is no 3 conversion paths, right? But for customers who at a certain level,
that's what they need.
They need something spelled out, because when you're like, well, for your front end now, you can do Twitter or X, or you can do LinkedIn, or you can do the paid ads, or you can do the TikToks. And now once you do that, now you can have an opt-ins there and use free reports if you want, but you don't got to use free reports. You can also do videos, or you can do checklists, or you ain't even got to do any of that. You can just sell a low barrier offer, just sell something cheap. And then to convert them, well, now you can stick them on a webinar if you want, but I mean, you can also do a VSL, or you can have a long form sales letter. And that's just when they buy the front end. Then you can have OTOs, or maybe you don't want to have OTOs because you're going to stick them into a webinar. They're like, what are you all talking about?
My head hurts, and I've been doing this for almost 30 years.
Yeah, I follow all that, and I also recognize myself saying all that, and then having the avatar, the customer, saying, "No, just show me the damn way how to do it.
Yeah.
Just show me the way." Exactly. Like
and
you
so
just said.
I think, you have to look at what other people are. The way I try to look at it is this: you're actually in the business of selling shortcuts, because nobody wants the long cut. And I'm guilty of selling long cuts. Like, I thought there was work to do, Marlon, until I bought your product. And then I realized I had to add 32 more things to my list. I was overwhelmed before. Now I feel buried, right? Ain't anybody wants to buy that course. What they want to buy is the shortcut, the easy street. I mean, I just had it happen last week. A guy quit my newsletter. Oh, Marlon, I just feel overwhelmed. I just can't, this is too much. I can't do this. Right. Cause I overwhelmed him. I gave him too much. Right. And so, people want the shortcut. So it's like shortcut conversion paths, right?
I like that idea.
And they got to be spelled out so it's clear, right?
Absolutely.
And then your pitch becomes all these other people, they're selling this and that and the other, and you got to make all these decisions. They make it hard. And it's like you pay them $5,000 and you get in the program and you find out you got to spend your whole day on the phone as a professional phone salesperson. Probably not what you dreamed of doing for a career, right? And you sell that angle, then you sell your angle. Like, I mean, I do think there's an element of today, most people are selling conversions by doing DMs or phone. And it works.
So that's what's interesting is, and I'll circle back to ManyChat. All right. And that kind of almost brings all this home is all ManyChat is doing is allowing you to have a funnel with DMs. I know that's a bit of a reductionist way to say it because you can use email
but it's true.
and Messenger and stuff in there, but
Right.
It's a magnet and a funnel. And instead of it just being through a landing page and an email, it's a different modality of it.
But it is DMs. But so there's a guy that sells, I won't tell you his name, but this guy that sells this smart marketer, right? And so he's like, okay, they got to convert, they got to sell, they got to do my system, they got to do in his system, they got to do DMs because he buys shout outs and he does a lot of lead magnets that he has them raise their hands, right? So his pitch is, we got trained appointment setters for you. Also, I showed you that Jessica Vieira on Instagram. That's one thing she's selling is in her, one of the coaching programs, you get a trained appointment setter or setters. They'll set the appointments. And then they'll also have trained salespeople for you for the right price, right?
Sure.
But the point of that is, imagine the customer. Frank, I don't want to learn how to train no appointment setter. I just want you to train them for me, and then I just plug them in.
We have the same customers. I mean, on my list anyway. Right. We could go on forever, man.
No, we could, but these are the things that I think you got to think about with conversion chemistry because it's awesome. But like you got it, but it's just the whole point of this is Frank and I came from old school where people bought product launch formula. They bought the traffic secrets by John Reed. You wanted the big manuals.
Oh yeah.
Whole wall of big manuals back here, right? You wanted to learn.
Now you just want the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah. Today you don't even want the one manual. You just want the Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All right.
All right, guys. Dan, it's nice to meet you. Frank, nice talking.
Marlon, always a pleasure. And
don't worry. Nobody listened to the end anyway. They didn't make it past the first 15 minutes when we were talking about 1996.
Yeah, except we're going to let the algorithm decide that. And when I upload this to Opus Clip and it splits it into 45 different reels that we slap into our Instagram and tag you on, we'll let the audience and the algorithm determine.
We'll see which part they listen to. Right?
Darth Vader's grandfather jumps in on conversion chemistry.
Oh my God.
I think no, but you got to take advantage of the situation. So when you promote this, I think you just need to say, Frank and Dan discuss marketing with Darth Vader's grandfather.